This is really smart.
It's a great ban. I think that TF on 4 could have been really threatening. In terms of mids that are still open and available, you're kind of looking at your sort of lower prio, like Mel is an option. Hui is still something you can lean toward.
I kind of like the Hui in this draft. They have a lot of disengage. Is Genji actually just thinking about a Cassante?
So they're investing more into Chovy, having the counter pick. This is kind of not typical for teams in the LCK, but more typical for Genji, who I feel like in draft give less weight to Keen and kind of just say, hey, you can handle this. You can deal with whatever they throw at you. Rich?
Blind Cassante feels pretty awkward.
Yeah. And Rich is now in a position where he's like, okay, I have been given counter pick. You know, instead of being in a position where I always have to take a safe blind, I can now look to potentially punish and capitalize. A Yorick here would be pretty hard to deal
Shen!
with. But
That's
Shen
cool.
comes out. We haven't seen top Shen at all this season. Last time we saw it was obviously on the international stage when Broken Blade had a fantastic game on it. And it just ends up being the victor in the mid lane, so nothing too consequential for Yukal here. But a good source of damage that I think is needed here. And speaking of sources of damage, Genji doesn't have a ton of it when you look at that composition. And they end up going for the Sylas for Chovy. There's a good selection of ults here, don't get me wrong. And I guess the survivability of the Sylas into this composition.
VODs so that I can catch up to exactly what's happening with Shen top these days. Oh, all right. Yeah, no, we're back. Sorry, I was kind of enamored by the Shen toppage, but now we are ready to get onto the Rift for game number 3, with Rich playing Shen on the top side of the map, ready to put a sword in the middle of the lane and see what's going on.
And this might honestly be a tough memory for Genji. I guess it just is the last time they played against Shen was when it was against G2.
Oh, yeah, no, it would have been. That does make sense.
And we had that moment where Chovy on the Azir got solo killed by Broken Blade. You know, Broken Blade going a pretty aggressive build with Titanic Hydra, Dusk and Dawn, and Bandle Pipes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just...
like, getting those first 2 items and then just playing music at them as well for, like, the extra emotional damage.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very impressive.
It gives you a ton of kill pressure, honestly, for a pick you normally don't expect it from. And he has a pretty sizable AP ratio on the ult as well. 135% on that shield.
Yep.
So gets
which is going to be pretty good value for Chovy as well. We have to remember, we don't see a lot of Sylas and Shen in the same game. Stand United is a game-warping ultimate, and now both teams have it. That's if Chovy is ever within range of Rich in this game. And obviously, we kind of like the Shen in this composition. I think that their team fights become very, very scary. And you were talking about the lack of enchanters with Xin Zhao. What about a mega massive shield when he goes in?
The Shen Chanter?
Yeah, the Shen Chanter, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe that's going to be enough to make the Xin feel like he has, you know, a Karma or something.
I mean, that extra durability is going to make a big difference. Also, the ability to block auto attacks. Imagine you're prepping that big 4th shot. That's going to do so much damage.
Well,
and it just gets
a lot of damage.
Cancelled. Yeah, Dura getting chunked out. Note that Andal didn't go Ignite here, which we often see on Nautilus when you want to be really aggressive. Also went Aftershock, which doesn't feel amazing into Trundle.
Yeah. So he'll go in, and then Canyon will press his ultimate on him.
And then Pillar behind him, and then he will die.
Yep. And Canyon will not. Canyon will do a lot of damage and take none of it. As he's gone the classic press the attack. We'll see whether Willa and Canyon will find one another. Obviously, a large reason why the Trundle was picked in this game was because the matchup into Xin Zhao feels so incredibly good.
Yeah.
But right now, you can see some vertical jungling has begun.
Oh, Willa was like hovering around, potentially looking for something mid, but I don't think they're really going to go for dive here.
Yep. As was in the enemy jungle momentarily. We'll now go back home, teleport back from Chovy. And as it stands, things very, very even But you saw KIWOOM DRX actually with the shove here towards his bottom side. LazyField going to be able to get a very nice recall timing. There's another Shadow Dash here from Rich.
I think you kind of always get shocked by the amount of damage that Shen actually does, but it is a little bit absurd. We didn't get to see if he got the cannon. Panned away.
Oh, yeah. Jonas Strong does like to keep us guessing sometimes.
Yeah.
Other times he likes to zoom in to make sure that we know. He's hard to keep track of. Keeps you on your toes. That's why the drama in the LCK is always top-notch.
Rich is struggling, though, in this matchup in terms of farm. Pushed in and, I guess, missing a good amount of CS, but already like 2 waves down.
It is the Keen Sante. He's pretty good at this champion. And may have, you know, requested the help of a bunch of his practice partners after that series against G2, where he did just kind of get bopped by the Shen. I feel like Shen was, like, popular for quite some time after that, right? Like, there was a moment, you know, where we were doing all of our Shen prep ready for the Shen to be really strong, and then no one really brought it out here in the LCK.
We literally didn't get a single Shen.
We didn't. But we knew that it was good.
Yeah.
And so
I think
even
Wadid did his little demonstration.
Yep. Not to mention the fact that Wolf was like waiting for this pick for forever. Like he's been talking about this for yonks and has not found it just yet.
On Wadid's presentation, remember the 3 picks were Shen, Kog'Maw, and Mundo.
Yeah.
So far, we've had a Kog'Maw game which won, a Mundo game which lost, and now this Shen game is the tiebreaker. So we're going to learn whether Wadid's a fraud or not on the back. This is the decider, you know. Are you going to win it 2-1? 2 of your picks win, one of them loses.
I think the rules of that particular game were pretty vague, though, if I remember.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to be a bit more precise.
We could all use a bit of that.
Yeah, so
in the LCK.
That's what's at stake here, as well as obviously, you know, the teams and them looking for a win. It's also Wadid and his status as an analyst.
The stakes could not be higher. As Canyon does get hit by the Wind Becomes Lightning, but did somehow manage to avoid the anchor. There is the pillar going down. Could have waited for the Cosmic Binding there as in goes Chovy, finding the angle. Willa taking a whole lot as Yukal making his way down as well, and Chovy is just dead. Has the help of that Arcane Storm. Actually, no, the Arcane Storm was... No, it was there, right? Wasn't it? Am I crazy?
It was Chovy's Arcane Storm.
It was Chovy's Arcane Storm, of course. I was very confused.
Yeah, so I think that sort of fight, if a Xin Zhao Nautilus is acting like they really want to fight into a Trundle, you have to assume something is up. And it can all be explained by pressing tab and seeing that they have a Shen.
Aha!
Which Gen G didn't opt to do. It does give Keen even more alone time top lane, so he's getting really far ahead, but a nice kill onto Yukal will be very appreciated for KIWOOM DRX. And I mean, this positioning was so aggressive from Willa and Andal into a Trundle as well, who does so well in the Xin Zhao, and the pillar is such a threat. You know the Shen's going to come in.
Yeah.
And Chovy goes so aggressive here, and it's just deleted. The fact Yukal can just walk down, pick up the laser, use the laser to pick up the kill, and then just walk back mid to get the wave. That's kind of ideal for a Victor.
It really is. The gold lead is only going to be about 0. After that one, all is said and done, though, because, like you say, Keen got a lot of spare time up in that top lane. Level 6 is now gained for Ruler and Canyon at exactly the same time, but LazyField and Willa were already there. And KIWOOM DRX still just feeling pretty good at this moment. Stands United halfway through. And I think that Gen G are going to respect it more next time. And by I think, I mean I hope. Because that looked a little bit off. Yeah. And maybe what I was talking about with the demanding to practice against Shen more didn't actually happen.
Maybe it happened,
didn't look like they walked
and then time passed, you know.
Ah, the statute of limitations of understanding how Shen works. It's always a problem. You know, Zillion used to do that as well. Oh. And also we had Soraka do it, right? Like not realizing that actually you do have to kill the Soraka. Yeah. Evelyn does that as well, with like needing different wardings, stuff like that. Obviously, a little bit better now.
Shaco as well.
Oh, yeah.
Every game, there's a Shake win. People just dying to like level 2 ganks. Like, you know he's going to do it.
Yep. Need to make sure that you talk to HR about taking a mental health day immediately afterwards, because Shaco does that to you as well.
I mean, my favorite thing is when you have a game where like he gets so giga-fed, and then he dies once the game is over.
Yep. That does happen.
But that won't really happen with a Shen, who just kind of can go from strength to strength at this point. Is still struggling a bit in the laner phase, but should be able to just keep picking up farm there. Dragon does get picked up. First one for Genji, so pretty positive for them. Ocean being second as well means good chances to Decent Soul. And even Chemtech wouldn't be...
Chemtech would be kind of
It would be
good,
fine here, yeah. This is
on
actually,
both sides.
This is actually a game where you have thicker champions who can benefit from it, and the shielding power, healing shielding power does not go to waste.
Nope, not on like either side. So kind of a huge deal. Every soul going to be very, very powerful. See exactly which one it is going to be after this Ocean and the Cloud do come on through. That was wacky.
What?
That worked through the wall.
I know I talked earlier about Bard having a big hitbox, but like, I didn't think it was that
does
big.
not make sense.
It's bigger than the wall.
All right. He anchored over the wall.
He caught like his scarf, I guess, just like hanging over the
Yeah,
the
that's why
frame.
you shouldn't play this skin. Actually, no, you should, because then you can give them hot cocoa. It gives you extra health because it's hot cocoa. It's delicious.
That was such a...
That was so strange.
I've never seen that before.
Wait, chat, have you guys seen this before? Is this something that like we're only just learning now, but it's like it's a bit funny? Like, you let us know. Sound off, please. Have you known that you can hit you through walls? That hitbox is ludicrous. If that can happen. Like, that is so dumb. Oh, God. Everyone's just laughing. As Chovy's flashing, does still have the depth charge, but versus 3 people, that one was going to be a difficult one. As everyone just said no. Question marks. Everyone's a bit confused. Happens every game, says one guy. But he also might be exaggerating a little bit. However, not a vague comment, so it turns out that they're doing okay. The rest of the world is safe.
For now. The infection hasn't spread yet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it seems
you know
like
what's really
no one's
sad?
surprised, but no one's really seen it before.
A moment like that, I'd love to have a replay of.
Yes!
You don't get replays of that because it's just, you know, it wasn't a kill. It wasn't at all consequential to the game.
Well, but the Korean commentators were talking about it. I think they could have got the replay, but I don't think we can get the replay. The replay, G-Sun, of the Nautilus booking the Bard over a wall, like through the wall. He was on the other side, and Andil hit the wall, and Duro got hit because he's so chunky. It was very funny. We're going to see whether we can get a little bit of a pip of it or something and have a little another look. Because it might have been like something weird about the spectator, like maybe he'd like magical journeyed or something.
It was a spectator bug. Now I want to see.
I'm pretty sure it happened.
I've never been more distracted, and we get distracted often.
We do.
This just, you know.
Oh, Rich. There's an army of minions here, but man, this the trading pattern of the Shen feels pretty powerful.
Yeah.
All right, Chovy dashing on towards Andil here, who does try and turn it his own way. Gravity Field is fantastic as the Arcane Storms all come on down. Canyon will be able to magically journey away as Andil is also able to survive as Chovy down very low, but dash cannons to get to the safety of his turret. As Yukal going to get interrupted, takes a fair bit of damage there as Keen went all out, and it was almost enough to kill Rich. Oh dear, Rich is sticking around. I'm a little scared.
I think Rich just ulted, so...
Yeah, he tried to stand you. If you do that in front of a Cassante, though, like there are some champions that don't have the ability to interrupt you. I feel like Cassante does have a lot.
But the thing is, you still give the shield, and I would have thought that if Keen ulted on a tower, he might just get taunted and die, but somehow managed to come out ahead. Maybe he wasn't under tower when he went for the ult. Maybe that was the pitfall of Rich there.
Maybe we'll see that one again. But we'll just have to see.
Kill, so... You know.
Oh, yeah, dang it. Sometimes we think that there are too many replays. Now we're thinking there's not enough replays. Now there are 2 things that we want replayed.
Yeah.
All right, Keen, level 11. No ulti right now, but he is just...
Sometimes we do get a replay of like the TP being stopped.
Yeah, we do.
That can happen occasionally.
But often it's a replay of a TP getting stopped when there was a kill elsewhere in the fight.
Yeah, yeah.
And now there is not really
left
anything.
to speculate.
Spectate-ulate, because that's what we're doing as well.
Yeah.
There you go. That word fusion I'm going to shelve. I don't think I'm going to use that one again.
Not your best work.
No. But, you know, often the stuff that sticks is definitely not my best work.
There any major regrets on that front?
No. Well, I mean, yes, but I'm getting used to it. All right. Speaking of tempo vibes, I think Gen G have them still here in this game, despite the Shen situation. They are going to be able to take the second dragon. Is it Chemtech? It is! All right, and we're not, like, this was, I was watching Ox this whole time, full attention, but he let it happen. He let it go through because this is some pretty epic Chemtech angle type stuff.
Yeah, this is actually a situation where you're not too unhappy from either side. I think this is, as we've said so many times, there's some games where you see Chemtech and you go, okay, we don't really care that much about Soul anymore. But here, you know, Cassante, Trundle, Silas, Shen, Xin Zhao.
I mean, even Ruler has fleet footwork. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little bit of healing there.
There you go. All right. Oh, we've got a bit of an update. I think we can actually find out what happened. So I think it had something to do with the portal, but I think we will be able to check it out.
It was so long ago now.
It was, but it's okay.
I'm glad we're getting answers.
It's still relevant. There's only been one other kill.
I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't know this answer.
Yeah. Well, you can see Gen G looking for some little angles
They're
here.
setting up the Herald, so I think that might be our focus and their focus for the time being.
I mean, I'm still very focused on that hook over the wall.
By the way, it's a 44 CS lead in the top lane.
That is a large amount for Cassante to be winning.
Crazy amount to have an advantage in this matchup.
Keen's just wondering how he managed to lose so badly to Broken Blade when he played this champion. It was a different matchup, if I remember correctly, or was it the same?
He played Gwen into Shen.
It was Gwen that time.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that'd be that much worse, but I haven't watched enough Expected videos.
TP coming in now from this Giga-fed Cassante.
Yeah, that should spell an end to this potential fight, but instead, they're just going to try and start it, as Cosmic Binding is pretty good there onto Andal, and the rest of KIWOOM DRX are looking to try and get themselves out of there. Keen still hasn't gone all out, and there is the curtain call as Rich trying to stand in that front line. It isn't quite working, as Andal was actually hit barely off screen there by Ruler. That is going to be the Rift Herald claimed by Gen G. They are in a very good position here in this game.
Whoa, and...
Oh, here we go. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. All right, so Andal, he was just hit over the wall. What? He was just straight up hit over the wall and it was blind.
What does that even
That is so unfair. Wow. Bard is just big boned, man. He's not that big.
He has such a rotund hitbox.
Excellent use of rotund. I still think Chunky Boy is my favorite though, so we're gonna have a look. It just...
Oh wait, did he?
Oh, did he not even get hit by it? It just looked like it because he was casting his Q at the same time.
Wait, play it one more time. I need to see it one more time.
We need to see it one more time. We need to see whether he took... It looked like he took damage though, right?
I'm so confused.
Okay, we're going to see it one more time. We're going to see it one more time. Okay. But he's at full health here. Anchor. He's hit by it! It does hit him!
Even with a bone plane, so he's definitely hit by... Wow.
Oh my lord!
What is going on?
I'm really glad we got the replay.
I'm surprised we didn't get a pause on that. Duro was like, what is going on?
Well, Ruler is just going to get bullet timed, and we'll do the wandering out of it strategy in order to survive. And now, potential fight here towards the bottom side is Duro just going to be magically journeying himself over. Chovy not quite finding the chains there. As Keen can kind of do anything here in this game. He is not too worried.
Yeah, he is. It's not a pick you expect to get this far ahead in this matchup, but he is being a thorn in the side of KIWOOM DRX. And we kind of talked about like the damage profile of Gen G not having the most, but on this side of KIWOOM DRX, like MF isn't a great tank killer. You know, you have obviously the Victor, but if Keen gets fed, I feel like he's going to have so much free agency in this game.
Yeah. I do also like thinking about the matchup. Shen does really like to stand in his circle, right? And Keen has a lot of abilities to stop you from standing where you want to stand.
Yeah.
So maybe that helps with the matchup. Not entirely sure. The Spirit's Refuge is, I believe, what the ability is called. But I remember when it was just called Feint, and all it did was give you a little shield. Old Shen was fantastic.
Simpler times.
Yeah, didn't you like just throwing a scalpel at people?
Oh, yeah.
Just over and over again, just
back then,
throw a scalpel.
When you'd go AP Shen.
Oh, yes.
And just launch it at them.
You had like a big shield and otherwise you just throw a scalpel over and over again.
That was the play plan.
Beautiful. Simpler times. All right, Canyon clearing out some vision here. There's GenG trying to hold on to control of the river. 1 second, and there is that Chemtech Dragon. Both of our teams looking pretty excited about picking that one up.
So Andal went for Bloodsong.
Oh dear. There is the Bard just exploding.
And we'll use it to explode Duro pretty easily. I was saying though, he's obviously going to feel a bit squishy, and all these fights you struggle to engage because of the Trundle. But he finds an angle there onto the enemy support, and now they're starting up Dragon.
Yeah, Lazy Feel moving down. Good dash out there from Chovy. Finding the Abduct Abscond. Not the Abscond. Throws the chains the other direction. Did not really want to be engaging as in goes Keen. He's so scary. Bullet time. Oh no, but the Crescent Guard actually pushes him away. Still, the Trundle will be taken out. As in they go. Keen is a brick wall, but I don't know whether he can do a 1 versus 4. Maybe he can separate Rich to try and kill him, but Rich just dashes away. Now the curtains are being called. The Tempered Fate comes in just to interrupt the Dragon, and they will still be able to secure it. The Dancing Grenade comes in. The flash forward from Ruler, and he just walks away. Lazy Feel now trying to get himself into a better position, but 1 versus 4 as a misfortune is not exactly what you want, and it's a double for Ruler in the end.
Such clean team fighting from GenG. Felt like they were just dipping in and out, using the health bars as such an effective resource. And despite the fact that KIWOOM DRX got the early favorable start in this fight, it ends up being GenG who come out ahead. I mean, not only do they get this pick onto the Bard, but when the actual fight proper starts, they just essentially delete Canyon so quickly. Gets melted by the MF here, and he ends up dying.
Oh, and he flashed out of the way, so it wasn't the Crescent Guard. Never mind.
So in this situation, it's a 5v3, but they managed to kill off the Nautilus pretty quickly, and then it's Keen going in and out, getting chunked down but never dying. Chovy pushes in to get some aggro, the Jinnel gets a good amount of value, and just cleaning up kills. Ruler flashes in, nearly gets punished, but they move in to cover him. When he goes for that aggressive play, and UCAL out of mana can't really contribute.
And Keen is actually just shielding everyone while this fight is going on.
This was so well played by GenG.
Still, KRX do manage to pick up the Dragon, so denying Soul Point, going to be a big deal here. The gold lead has stretched though, man. 3.5k is kind of huge, and now Lazy Feel without flash. Oh, Andal with the interference still has to flash to get himself out of it, but that will be a worthy sacrifice.
Using the Channel against them, and able to pick up the flash off Andal, which we've seen so many fights start off with him going in, getting pillared and flashing out. You won't be able to do that anymore. Yeah.
And you'll certainly want to, because as you mentioned before, Nautilus into the Trundle is just not a very fun time. Still, Lazy Feel seemed like he was dead to rights there, right? And Andal just sort of pulled him away. As Keen just playing Bouncer here to make sure that Ruler can comfortably clear out these waves. Does have his Storm Razor done as well as his Ghost Blade. Wanted to build some real items now, and should be getting there relatively soon, although wants to build Rapid Fire first. Canyon now with 2 items built up. Kind of like this cute, like, let's ult all the time build.
We've seen the Hexblade more recently on Trundle. I don't know how I feel about it, because ultimately...
Ultimately, indeed.
It does just kind of result in you not doing any damage. Yeah, you are just relegating yourself to Pillar and Ult Bot. I know obviously you get the attack speed from it, but it's not going to compare to like a Triforce.
Yeah.
You don't get those big chomps.
Well, you do get one big chomp as you run at him. That's right, Chovy looking for the angle here, but we'll need to use this Crescent Guard effectively. That is going to push Willer away as Tempered Fate gets him into position. Canyon starting the fight here as the rest of GenG are trying to follow up, but Willer gets in there, and now KRX have turned up as well. Oh, the Blast Cone, it almost gets Ruler out to safety as the bullet time is set up. A Lazy Feel has to interrupt it. Chovy gets on top of him, and down goes the MF. And even though the Jin dies, GenG still had plenty to clean up the fight, and now Chovy just waves his chains back and forth and collects the Nautilus. Canyon now running down Andal here, gets smoked, and I don't think he's diving the turret, and will be backing away.
Yeah, Dura tries for the stun flash there. Unfortunately, the minion's able to block it away.
Good mechanics, minions.
This just feels like a battle of the beef, honestly, and GenG are coming out ahead. In this one, Keen just feels immortal, and then you have Canyon and Chovy running around as well. even though the Jin ends up going down here pretty early on, it's just too much bulk, I think, for KIWOOM DRX to cut through. The taunt comes out here, Chovy gets chunked down, but has the Crescent Guard to disengage from the situation. And then the ensuing fight, you know, Chovy getting up the picking up the honey fruit there is huge. But like Ruler gets focused out, awkwardly has to use one of his Jin bullets to disengage. But it just doesn't matter that much when the front line is so hard to cut through. Like Keen's health never really drops until he chooses to drop it with his own ult.
Yeah. And just slices Willer up. And a double kill for Chovy in the end, as he was relatively quiet on this Sylas so far this game. And now he's sitting at 3-1 and 4. 100% kill contribution. I say pretty quiet. Still was there for everything. As 18 seconds on this one, as Ruler getting chunked a little bit, but is not going to be fully out of this one at this moment. Chovy is on the top side, but does have teleport. Cosmic Binding there, but Andil will be able to help out as they take down this outer turret. Bit of extra control here for KIWOOM DRX as they slink back into the fog of war and look to try and grab their second Drake of the game. This is kind of what GENG are able to do with that double dragon they picked up earlier. They can give up a few of them if they do have control of sides, and that is exactly what they have. And now the fight is going to break out, and Duro going to split them all up with a zoning ultimate. Keen is just in there as the gravity well does go down. Rich finds the Shadow Dash, and they take out the K'Sante. It took a whole lot of work to do it, but they do. Oh, and Yucal, really? That's the interrupt there from Chovy, who goes golden right at the last second. LazyFeel, a huge shield from the Shen, might be able to keep him alive, and it is going to be the Shen taking out the Trundle in the end. GENG, they lose their mega tank in the top lane and their jungler. I don't think they're going to be taking this dragon.
Was that just like a blood sacrifice of their mid laner to give them the power in the rest of the fight? I'm not sure.
I mean, that sounds a bit on. It's a bit on theme, right? As that's a flash away from Ruler. Deadly Flourish is going to go wide as they do secure the Drake, and they'll secure the Ruler as well. As LazyFeel just needed one auto, but Will is the one that takes it. And GENG once again with a bit of a flub. They had a huge lead. Just doesn't really feel like it.
You still do. They're still 4,000 gold up, but a pretty massive flub in terms of the fight, because we end up seeing they're looking for LazyFeel.
They were just distracted by Yucal's craziness.
The bottle misses, and then the pillar actually gets on the wrong side of LazyFeel. So they don't catch the MF, and then they just focus down Keen, and then this is the distracting moment.
Yucal's like, they said it was magical.
And that interrupt there on Chovy from Andil was pretty great, keeping LazyFeel alive, and then the shield comes in bigger when the target is lower HP, and that's why Rich is able to get such a big shield onto his AD carry. A crazy chain of events, honestly, for them to win that fight despite Yucal's sacrifice, maybe because of Yucal's sacrifice.
Yeah, I think it was, like you're saying, blood sacrifice there. As Wind becomes lightning, a lot of value from Willer, as they're able to almost close the gap. As chains connect here from Chovy, Crescent Guard to try and make sure that he stays alive. Deadly Flourish, no stuns to come in, but Andil
so dead.
So incredibly dead, yeah. The pillar, value, high.
Yeah, are they just going to look for Baron here? It's a little risky.
But KIWOOM DRX, everything was going great. Maybe it still is. All right, Sands United is not off cooldown just yet. And GENG are looking for the turn. Chovy gets into the brush, finds the Arcane Storm as Yucal has to dodge these bullets, and LazyFeel's going to get tagged by right on the edge of the Fate's Call, and will now just be taken out. Meat Slap going to help, and Ruler is the one securing the kill. Now 3 are dead. One of them's the jungler. That will be the Baron going over to GENG.
Yeah, have to disengage off the Baron to find this further fight. Here we end up seeing how this kick started, and it's just so hard for the Nautilus in this situation. You go in, you get ulted by the Trundle with Aftershock up, so you end up even losing out even more, and you just can't get out again. And then here, Chovy on this great flank angle, he can't immediately kill Yucal or LazyFeel, doesn't connect chains, but he buys so much time, it allows the rest of the team to kind of run amok, kill Willer, jungler down, and then they look for a little bit more. We end up going aggressive here onto LazyFeel, and the stun connecting there from Chovy, the knock doing a lot of work as well.
Yep, absolutely huge. Now Ruler's got 3 items. Does kind of want his Infinity Edge, but he is going to get closer to that one as well. Doing a lot of damage. Chovy also completes his Zhonya's. And Canyon is now just getting tankier and tankier. Keen is already at the tankier part.
He has a BF sword and a long sword. So is he going Infinity Edge or is he going LDR? Or neither. Is he going Bloodthirst? If he goes
Or both.
If he goes Bloodthirst fourth, I think that might be the worst.
I think we're getting him out of the kitchen at that point. I think Ruler was the one that started the double Zeal Jhin as well. I think he really does like not doing damage on Jhin. Okay, Duro likes Magical Journey. So does Chovy. Is out. He will go.
Get away from it. Do not follow it.
You cow. Do not listen to the voices.
Somebody needs to warning thing it every time.
Yep.
I think he
didn't know.
He sees how fun it looks, you know.
You have to admit, you know, when you go to a playground and you see the slide, like, you really do want to use the slide. That's basically what the Magical Journey is.
Yeah, oh.
Well, Ruler is going to get tagged. The Mega Cone is going to be there, but the Stand United going to hold him in position, and he cannot even press the button. Would have taken a Shen with him, of course, and would have definitely died anyway.
Just didn't get enough space, unfortunately, to get the Mega Cone off before the CC layering comes in. So a nice pick from KIWOOM DRX.
Are we going to get a replay of this?
The Mega Engage Cone, and then the Disengage Cone is denied. I know someone is going to be happy about this. Brendan Valdez.
There was also a wall situation there as well.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the Nautilus hitbox is a little fishy.
It is.
I mean, he's an undersea guy, so...
Speaking of which, to go back to what we've wanted to talk about all game long.
Thankfully.
We have some expert opinion here as well. Kisun from our observing team that you might remember from the POG lab with G-Sun. He said maybe the hitbox was over the wall because of the Nautilus hook hitbox being massive and the Bard hitbox being massive. So kind of agreeing with us as LazyFeel did get ulted, but then they're just going to stand their ground. Really nice disengage from Gen G, though, as Chovy still looking for even more. The curtains have been called, and Willa is the target. Rich is trying to tank for him, but maybe that is going to spell his death. As out he goes, Chovy goes in, and Willa has to engage because he has no way out. The bullet time's interrupted because he wasn't in a safe place to use it, and Gen G, they get rid of the jungler, they take down the support, and the rest of KIWOOM DRX are on the run. The flash has to come out, but Chovy still chases him down, goes golden before the stun, can even come in as Ruler flashes on top of LazyFeel and forces the flash out of him as well. Gen G are just going to break the base.
KIWOOM DRX just all flashing away to get out of this situation from Gen G, and as that happens, we get 4,000 assists from Keen.
And no surprise that he has the most in the league.
Yeah, with this performance, pretty great one to get it. Sometimes we see the milestone comes up after a lost fight.
Oh yeah.
But Keen's been having a massive game here, so we see them looking to disengage, but then we end up going aggressive here. Andel's getting chunked out. The root comes in for the Jhin. Ruler's turned up, and his ult puts so much more pressure down onto them. And Andel flashed out here already. That's one. We end up getting more flashes coming through. Rich flashes over the pillar. And then obviously, as the play continues, we also saw both carries flashing out. So that's 4 flashes in that fight burned just to disengage from Gen G.
And it didn't quite work out. Still, very impressive team fighting here from Gen G with this composition.
So, Ruler went IE, understandably, but where did the longsword go? Did he just sell it?
Sometimes you just like to have a longer sword, just in case, like, when you go to Boris and he's like, no, this BF sword is too big.
I think what might have happened is he finished his 3rd item and had a longsword extra, and then was like... But then next time he recalled, he had the BF sword and was like, well... You know, I'm not going to go LDR.
Yeah, maybe he just couldn't decide what to do, but then went for the right build in the end.
Well, I mean, he got the IE. I mean, LDR is fine here.
That's true.
The 3rd item Stormrazor is the one we're a little disagreeing with.
What about 2nd item Stormrazor? He did my 2 least favorites. The reason why I've been tolerating Jhin a lot more is we've seen the Hex Optics Jhin, which I just kind of like a bit more.
I don't even mind Stormrazor. Like, I think Stormrazor first is fine. We've seen that. I just feel like Ghostblade, Rapid Fire, then Stormrazor is a little...
Yeah.
You know.
Not great. Oh, Keen built the cheap belt, so he's got 4 items done.
So tanky. And we do have Rich going the Broken Blade build on the Shen.
Yep.
That we saw from him at first stand into Gen G. But I think, in terms of solo killing Chovy, which we saw Broken Blade do, I think this game your work's going to be cut out for you. This level 18 Silas with 4 items, including a 16-stack Medjai's, doesn't scream solo killable to me.
No. He almost has a 4,000 gold advantage because he has a 50 CS advantage. Not something that Chobi has not been able to do, but it is just kind of ridiculous. There's also, we have new Korean fan input on the hook over the wall. As they just showed that he lobbed, they thought they lobbed the dredge line.
I assume they're going to show that image on the space.
I really hope that they do show the image on the space. I hope the space is like, it's not even about Poments anymore. It's all about Nautilus Hook being much larger hitbox than it has any right to be. I think it's not Bard's fault.
I mean, it is a little bit Bard's fault.
It's not Bard's fault.
They work together.
Justice for Bard.
You know, it was like a handshake. They both reach out.
His belly was not over the wall, okay? I could see that his belly was on the right side of the wall, and bellies don't get over walls.
It was his scarf.
It's just. I'm just imagining the Nautilus sees the little scarf. He's like, I've got you now.
The little tassels at the end.
Yeah, and they would stand out because he does have a very jolly outfit. Oh, I shouldn't have used jolly when I'm trying to defend him. It's the wrong word. Look at him go. Maybe it's one of his beard tassels. No, that pom-pom at the end. Oh, that really is a difficult one. Okay. Maybe it's the skin choice, but I hope not, because it is the best one. That's all right. GenG just going to be sieging this top inhibitor turret. And KIWOOM DRX, I mean, it's a 10,000 gold lead, but you know, we've seen comeback. It's comebackable.
We've seen comeback some bigger deficits.
Exactly.
But it is pretty difficult right now. Keen feels actually
level
immortal.
24 item Cassante.
Yeah, if he gets Chemtech Soul as well, I don't know how long it would take for them to kill him. All 5 members hitting him, but it'd be a while.
It would. It's also going to take a while to kill Canyon as well with Subjugate, if they do manage to get that soul. As right there you saw them engage onto him, and it looked like nothing really happened. Keen is splitting here towards this bottom side as...
Wait, Chobi just...
I think he might have... It might have been timing out.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. It was the shortest travel time ever. KIWOOM just kind of letting their inhibitors go. I mean, obviously they don't want this to happen, but they are struggling to defend here.
Well, Willa is also going to get pillared. And GenG now just going to usher in... Look at this army of siege minions. It's like the Clone Wars or something like that from Star Wars, you know, just like so many built like the machines all over the place.
The droids.
All right, in they go. That is going to be a dead ruler. Maybe enough here as the Crescent Guard flash from Chobi. Kind of gigantic. Rich taken down very low. The Tempered Fate to buy some space for Keen, who tries to go all out. That he's actually going to try and get out because KIWOOM DRX are winning this fight. They haven't lost anyone yet. Lazy feels at full health. And Willa might now be in trouble. He finds his own Crescent Guard. The anchor is going to be avoided because Chobi goes golden. He's now trying to dash away, but just takes a bullet to the face and dies. And KIWOOM DRX, they've lost their entire base, but not their Nexus. And that'll keep them alive in the series.
I think GenG just needed time, right? There were super minions coming in. They still had the Baron. They still have it for another 30 seconds. But Ruler ends up getting caught out, and they try and force their hand despite being at that deficit. And KIWOOM DRX are able to hold on now. Dragon up and available. If they can pick this up and back away and just defend the base, the game may be salvageable.
Well, Canyon is over here. Willa's in the pit as well, so it is going to be a smite fight as King comes over with about 1 trillion health. And I don't know whether they're going to be able to survive this as Yukal will turn up. Lazy Feel over here as well, as King does have to flash himself out of the way. And GenG trying to do the do-si-do. The curtains have been called from off screen though. There's a Tempered Fate to try and buy some space as Keen is still in there, still in the middle, and Yukal gets the big shield from the Shen. Willa still there with the ulti running, and I think they're just going to win the game. Chovy just says, you guys fight over the Drake all you want. I'm going to take my droid army and obliterate this Nexus as GenG will pick up the win here in Game 3.
He's just there to supervise. You know, he didn't even need a TP, but he's